Hello and welcome back to another week here at Knack Kitchen, where today we are making an upside down pineapple cake. This cake is absolutely delicious. It even looks eccentric and is eggless. So without wasting any more time, let's just dive into this video and see how we make this. So we're going to start by preparing the topping for our cake, which goes into the base. And for that I have some butter, and I'm using unsalted butter today, but you can certainly use salted butter if you wish. Once the butter has almost melted, we're going to go ahead and add some sugar. Today I'm using dark brown sugar, but you can use light brown sugar or even white sugar. Now once the butter and sugar are combined, we are going to take this off the heat. We're not looking to make a caramel, although you could make a caramel, you'll have a more liquid base. But as you can see here, I have a grainy base. It's almost like the base of a cheesecake, but it will caramelize perfectly once the cake is baking in the oven. So now I'm going to arrange my pineapple slices and a few cherries in between. Ideally, you would be using pineapple rings, but since I did not have those, I am using pineapple chunks. So once all of our pineapples and cherries have been lined out, we're going to set this aside and work on the cake batter, for which we're starting with the dry ingredients, and I have some plain flour to which I'm adding some salt, a little bit of baking soda, and relatively a large amount of baking powder. And now we're just going to combine this and set this aside while we work on our wet ingredients. So for the wet ingredients, I have some softened unsalted butter, to which I'm adding some white sugar, and we're just going to combine this. We don't need to beat this too much. Once it's all combined, this takes about a minute or so. We're going to go ahead and add our milk and some yogurt and finally some pineapple juice. And then we're going to go ahead and add some vanilla extract just for flavor, and we're going to mix this all in until everything is evenly combined. This is a very easy batter. You do not really need to work too much. So now we're going to go ahead and dump all of our dry ingredients in, and we're going to fold this in completely until we have a smooth cake batter. So once our cake batter is ready, we're going to transfer this onto our prepared base, and then using a spatula, we're just going to ensure that the cake batter is evenly distributed so that we have an even layer of cake. And then we're going to bake this in a preheated oven. The details would be in the description box below. And once the cake is baked, we're going to let this cool down for about 10 to 15 minutes, no longer. And then we are ready to invert this onto our plate. But before we do that, we're just going to use a knife and run it around the edges to ensure that the cake comes out cleanly. And now for the moment of truth. Well, I already know, but for you. And here we have my super amazing upside down pineapple cake. It is piping hot, as you can see from the steam, but it is ready to be served. You can serve this hot or you could serve this cold. It's going to be delicious either way. Just a couple of things. If you use pineapple rings, your presentation would be different, probably a little better. The cherries are certainly optional, so don't sweat it. And the choice of sugar will certainly determine the color of your topping. So if you go for white sugar, you'll have a lighter topping. It's going to be impressive either way. So now I'm just going to slice into the cake because A, I deserve the fruit of my labor, and B, you deserve to see if the cake is cooked to perfection or not. So after completely butchering that piece, here you can see what the cake looks like. It's perfectly cooked, it's moist and absolutely amazing. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you give this recipe a try. And if you like this video, then please do give a like, do share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, thank you so very much for watching, and I'm gonna see you next week.